welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I'm excited to have you here. Today I'm going to be doing my overly ambitious August TBR. This is a very big stack of books. August is my last month before I head back to college for the fall. I will be in my junior year. I am taking 18 credits full on plus working full time. It's gonna be great. Fingers crossed I don't burn out. I am just gonna kind of tell you guys what books I want to read this month. It's quite a bit. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 big old books. 12 big old books. And I'm just gonna kind of tell you what they are. So let's do it. Yeah, it's a lot of books. So, the first book I have here is The Collide by Kimberly McCrent, ma'am. Every time I'm trying to film, you just say, "Hey mom, I want to visit you." The first book I have is The Collide by Kimberly McCrent. I'm not 100% what this book is about because it's a little confusing. So the synopsis says it is about a girl named Riley. She leaves the detention center she is living at, and she knows she cannot go back to her normal life and be just a normal typical teenager. She knows she has to go back into this whole world of craziness where she needs to figure out who has been killing the girls that are the outliers, and she needs to be this detective. And I don't know much about it because the cover looked very interesting. We have some burning paper. It looks really great. So I did get that one. I'm not 100% sure what's going to go on in it, but I'm ready. I'm excited to read it. The next book I have is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmer. This book is about a prince named Ren, which is funny because that's my mom's cat's name, Ren. It is about a prince named Ren, and he is cursed to repeat the autumn of his 18th year if he doesn't have a girl fall in love with him. But the catch, he's a crazy looking beast. He's burnt down his mansion, he killed his family, and he has no hope. So that's fun. And our other character is Harper. She is just a struggling teenager in high school. Her mother has passed away. She's personally not having a great year. And she decides to be a good citizen and help this guy on the street. But when she does, she is pulled into this magical realm. Even though Harper is terrified to be in this realm, once she realizes what's at stake for Ren, she thinks she needs to help him to break this curse and kind of bring joy back to the world and save the people from ruin. So the next thing I have is Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsler. And as you guys know, LGBTQ romance is all I read. I love it, okay? I don't know why. So this book is about Jo. She is kind of the Hollywood hotshot. She is caught, photographed, making her assistant giggle on the red carpet. And everyone's like, ooh, they're dating. So they start this kind of gossip rumor that they're dating, and it starts to kind of hinder Jo's celebrity life. It just kind of filters through their personal life and their professional life, and the only people that are really there for each other are Jo and her assistant, and they start to get closer. And I love LGBTQ romance. It's just so sweet. There's something about it that I love. I'm excited to read that. Do you guys like it when you can see like my whole head? I think I have a weird head. Tell me if you like it. The next book I have is Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. I heard Haley and Bookland talking great things about this book, so I'm excited to read it. So this book is about Bailey. She is a classic movie buff, and she's been talking online to this guy for several months who is also a classic movie buff. So they're kind of getting along, they're chit-chatting. The only thing separating them is the entire country. They live on two separate ends of the United States. I'm assuming when she moves to California into the same hometown as him, which is a little creepy, she is scared to tell him that she's moved there, and so she starts kind of working at this museum, doesn't tell him she's there. She starts to talk about she starts to talk to this guy named Porter who works at the museum with her, and he's Alex. And that's not a spoiler because it's on the back of the book, okay? I'm excited for that. The next book I'm excited to read is After the Fire by Will Hill. That is a fun name. So the back of this book is so vague, which made me want to read it. It is about this girl who has kind of lived the past couple years in this federal facility. She hasn't been allowed to leave, hasn't been allowed to talk to anybody outside of the facility, and all this time she thought she was protected inside of the facility, but when she gets out, she realizes she was not protected in there. She was not safe, and she's not safe in the outside either. So I don't know. The back is like, the synopsis is so vague. I'm excited to see what it's about. I hope it's a little freaky fracky. That's the hope here. So excited. The next book I have is Hexed by Michelle Case. This book is about a girl named Indigo that is just popular football boyfriend, cheerleader, living her best life. And her mom runs this really strange occult shop in town, but when a Bible her mom is in love with goes missing, it kind of opens up this world of her like secrecy, so it opens up what she really needs to be. So basically a witch. So it kind of shows her this war between witches and sorcerers, and she needs to fight to keep the world alive. Sounds like a fun time. I'm totally into like high school witches because they're like, they seem to be really like bad, okay? And I love it. I am a fan. Next on the list, I have Defending Jacob by William Landy. This book is about a top-notch, my head looks weird. This book is about a top-notch attorney, does a great job, lives in his best life. And when someone is found brutally murdered down the street, his son is the main suspect. So this just kind of push and pulls on how far are you willing to go to defend your child. So I'm excited for this. I really love like family, like murder stories, which is kind of weird. House Rules was really good. I read that about a autistic child who was framed for murder. Did he murder him? You should read it because it's real good. So yeah, excited for that. I feel like I just say I'm excited for it because I am. Like, why would I be reading it if I wasn't excited for it? Just like. The next book I have is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. One of my favorite tropes is cults. I like cults. I don't know why. But this book is about a girl who is so excited to actually find out who her parents are. So she receives this letter in the mail finding out who they are, but it kind of opens up this whole new world where she finds out she is the actual sole inheritor of their mansion. And the synopsis kind of gives us this backstory where 25 years ago the police were called to this house where 3 people were found dead, 4 children were missing, and there was a 10-month-old baby crying upstairs, which I'm assuming was Libby. So this sounds super great. I'm very excited to read it. So next book I have is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Listen, I'm stressed out because I just watched Isabel from Throne of Pages say this was the worst book she's read, and I'm stressed about it. I was so excited to read this book, and I'm still excited to read it. If I don't like it, I'm blaming Isabel. I'm sorry. So this book is set in 2380. It is about a guy who is graduating from the Aurora Academy, and he's so excited to finally get his little crew around to go, I don't know what they're gonna do, defend space. And instead he's stuck with all these misfit last pick people he does not want because he's rude. But when Tyler rescues Aurora, who is stuck in a cyber sleep in the middle of space, it kind of opens up this war to start. She's a crazy man, apparently. I don't know. But he decides to help her, and him and his misfit crew decide to help her take back the galaxy. Exciting, okay? I'm excited for this one. Even though I was told it was the worst book they've ever read, but I think you gotta give it a chance, okay? Because if you don't give it a chance, how do you know it's terrible? That's all I'm saying. The next book I have is The Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. This book has been eyeballing on my bookshelves for probably like 6 months, which is kind of stressful. That's all I'm saying. So this book is about a guy who falls in love with a girl at a party. They kind of stay up all night talking about Fruit Loops, movies, exciting stuff. But this love story is complicated because Kate dies. And when he wakes up one day to find himself in the same room right next to Kate, very much alive, he has a second chance to prevent her death. he is going to do everything in his power to prevent that from happening, which is super exciting because, okay, lovers that are doing anything for each other, okay. But this just sounds super interesting. It has like a time travel aspect to it. I know this is going to be good. I've heard so many people say good things about it. And it's an African-American author and African-American characters. And I've been trying to put more diversity in my reading. So I'm excited for this. Again, I'm excited for things. Next, and finally, I have One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. This book I'm very excited for because growing up, I never had books that had people like me on the front. And this is a girl that looks like me. So that's so exciting. I don't know, like plus size fat girls unite, y'all. Like, take back the word. We doing that now. So Bae is a plus size fashion blogger with amazing friends and amazing fashion taste. The only thing she doesn't have is a boyfriend. But Bae loves this show called The Main Squeeze, but she hates how it is lacking in diversity. So really it's just all these skinny blonde girls and a guy named Chad. That's how she describes it. So she swears off dating, she swears off the show, but when she is contacted by the producers of the show, she decides that it would be funny, a great big joke, if she went on there as a fat girl. Okay, girl, you do you. But when she agrees, she slowly thinks, well, maybe I should give this a chance. Maybe this will be good for me. Maybe it'll be good for other girls that look like me. So I heard this was really good. I have not got a complaint about it once from the reviews that I've watched. I'm super excited to give this a go. Okay, get all up in my business, madam. So that is my ginormous stack of books that I want to read in August. Like I said, it's my last month before my semester starts, so I want to get as many books as I can in because I'm not sure how well I'm going to be reading once my classes start because it's going to be a pain. So I'm hoping it'll be a great time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!